it's Dusty once again with another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for telling my sister she's not allowed to bring her homemade food to Thanksgiving because her cooking is ruining the meal? Wow. Okay, this was harsh. I like how OP clarifies here. It's like, it's not the ingredients. There's nothing wrong with the ingredients. It's you. You're the problem. It's you. Your cooking is ruining the food that would otherwise be good if you were removed from the scenario here. Every year, our family does a big Thanksgiving dinner, and we all typically bring a dish or two. My sister, who's a lovely person in every other way, insists on cooking something homemade every time. The issue? She's not a great cook. And I don't mean just not great. I mean, she's somehow managed to turn classic dishes into borderline inedible creations. For context, last Thanksgiving, she showed up with her special recipe, stuffing that was over-seasoned with random spices like cinnamon and cardamom. I don't even know what cardamom is. Essence of cardigan. It was dry and the flavors were confusing and totally off for stuffing. Only one person took a small bite and the rest went untouched. Another year, she brought a green bean casserole that had some kind of strange, chewy texture. She later admitted she used coconut milk and almond flour to experiment. No one wanted seconds after that. This year, I'm hosting Thanksgiving. Since I'm responsible for putting it all together, I wanted to keep the menu consistent so that people could actually enjoy a cohesive meal. I thought I'd avoid drama by asking her to bring non-food items instead, like wine, soda, or even some flowers. I explained to her very kindly I thought that I just wanted to make things easy and streamlined, and I'd handle the main dishes, but she didn't take it well. She got offended and told me that I was being controlling and shutting her out of the family gathering. She then accused me of making her feel inadequate and said that Thanksgiving is about everyone contributing, not me deciding what's acceptable. I told her that everyone appreciates her effort, but that she could contribute in other ways and still be a part of it. She doubled down and said that she's bringing her famous green bean casserole, whether I like it or not. Ba-dope. The red flag for me here is not that she said she's bringing it whether you like it or not, is that she doubled down. And even though you tried to communicate this delicately, she doubled down. You know, like when that happens, the harsh statement that was in the title of this story is perfectly acceptable. Now, my mom and a couple of other family members have chimed in saying that I should just let her bring whatever she wants because it's Thanksgiving and it's the thought that counts. They're acting like I'm committing some huge offense by wanting the food to be enjoyable for everyone and not have random experimental side dishes that no one will eat. But I feel like I'm just trying to keep the meal enjoyable and frankly edible. I don't think it's wrong to want guests to actually enjoy the food, especially since I'm putting in a lot of effort to host. Am I really being unreasonable here? Am I the astronaut? Before we get into the first update here, I want to hear your thoughts. He said it nicely. She got offended. Dude, it's Nikki. Yeah, like that right there is a come what may kind of fork in the road, right? She chose to hear. She's like, give it to me straight. You're going to have to get offensive here for me to actually listen. I don't know if you guys thought of this, but the thing that I can't understand right now, throat made a weird noise. Sorry. It was like, how did she not take the hint when like one bite of her casserole dish size thing that she brought is the only thing that's been eaten? How does she not take the hint when it's all still there? When no one will touch it? How does she not take that hint? I get it. Yeah. Well, yeah. You know what? If there's some kind of experimental dish, you're already only making food for a very small percentage of people. So here's a question for you, Chad. If you were at a family function and somebody brought something experimental that you had never tried before, regardless of what it is and their history of making things that are tasty or not, random, brand new person you've never met before, brought something experimental, would you try it? Would you try it? Faith dropping the 2 says, oh, you don't mess with green bean casserole. Angel dropping the 2 said family members are not Thanksgiving guinea pigs. Yes. Like, why would you experiment with Thanksgiving? That's not the time to experiment. You experiment, test it on your family or somebody who's a bestie that will be honest with you, and then you bring the refined product to the family gathering. You don't experiment on Thanksgiving dinner. Amber, it depends on how it looks and smells. I'm down with that, but I've become a much more adventurous eater in my adulthood, and I'd probably try at least a bite. I will. I'll try everything. But I'd be adventurous, but I may be like the only person, or there might be like 2 of us out of 20 people that at a family dinner that would actually try it. You don't have to eat it. Yeah. Yeah, but like, wouldn't you take the hint if nobody tried it or one person did and that was it? Let's dive into the update. All right, well, things have escalated fast. Thanks to everybody who offered advice. I tried to compromise, but it's already turning into a whole thing, and Thanksgiving is still a few weeks away. After our last conversation, my sister was being pretty cagey about what she planned to make, so I reached out to my mom, hoping she could smooth things over. Instead, she got defensive, saying that I'm overthinking and that it's just one dish. I told her I wasn't sure it's just one dish anymore, especially after hearing my sister's grocery haul, including canned oysters and edible glitter.
Canned oysters.
Canned oysters and edible glitter. That's the meal. Oysters rolled in edible glitter. She calls them gloysters. I'm so shiny. To top it off, my cousin sent me a screenshot from the group chat where my sister said that she's bringing not one but 3 dishes to Thanksgiving now. She's calling them her Thanksgiving Trio Experience, complete with her own place settings and little menu cards that she's designing. I'm officially panicking because I have no idea what she's planning to serve, and from what I heard, it's not remotely traditional. At this point, half the family thinks that I'm overreacting, while the other half is texting me with things like, is she really bringing glittered sweet potatoes? I feel stuck. If I try to control it anymore, I'm the bad guy, but if I don't, Thanksgiving might turn into a tasting event for my sister's avant-garde cooking. So yeah, Thanksgiving is weeks away and it's already become a family spectacle. I don't know whether to brace myself or just preemptively order pizza. Again, like experimenting with the holidays, experimenting pre-holiday to refine it, make sure it's good, like validate, and then bring it. That's one thing. Glittered sweet potatoes. I brought turkey mixed with imitation crab. Glittered turkey. I don't. I mean, like, when we host any kind of thing, we don't gatekeep what people are bringing. I understand what he's trying to do and trying to protect everybody. But look, if half the people are like, F it, then F it, I guess. But you are the host. And you know what? If she wants to make this some like cooking show competition on acid, she can wait till she hosts to do that, right? Here's another update. No, we don't know OP's gender. Okay. Update. Am I the astronaut for telling my sister she's not allowed to bring her homemade food to Thanksgiving because her cooking is ruining the meal? All right, so Thanksgiving is now just a little over 2 weeks away, and somehow things have escalated even further than I thought possible. I thought maybe my sister's Thanksgiving Trio Experience would be the peak of the drama. Well, it turns out I was wrong. Since the last update, my sister has become fully committed to making her dishes the main attraction. She's been dropping hints in the family group chat, which I'm still not included in, but shout out to my cousin for the screenshots about how this Thanksgiving will be one to remember and calling it her Thanksgiving debut. She's apparently been referring to herself as the Thanksgiving head chef and has hinted that she's bringing some kind of culinary surprise centerpiece that will transform the whole experience. This bitch is planning on dosing everyone. She's planning on like making magic mushroom gravy or some shit. She's like,
it'll be a Thanksgiving to
once they start peaking, those glittery sweet potatoes are going to become magic. And just wait until you see what you poop. Something sparkly in the turlet. From what I could piece together, she's planning a main statement dish in addition to her original 3 side dishes. I'm picturing something equally bizarre but on a much larger scale, and honestly, I'm terrified. If her green bean casserole was already pushing it, I can't even imagine what she thinks is worthy of being the centerpiece. Then, to make things even weirder, my mom texted me privately and suggested that I step back this year and let my sister shine, since she's so excited about her contributions. My mom thinks if we just give her this moment, it'll make her happy and she'll get it out of her system. She even hinted that maybe I should focus on decorations and drinks instead of the main dishes, which feels like an attempt to turn over hosting to my sister without actually saying it. So let her host, dude. At this point, I'd be like, okay, then we're doing it at her house, because I'm sorry, I'm not going to be the venue for her culinary debut experience trip. So now I'm left with a choice. Go along with my mom's plan and let my sister essentially hijack Thanksgiving, or keep pushing back and risk a family showdown. I just wanted a nice Thanksgiving with dishes everybody would enjoy, but it seems like I'm either about to hand over the whole meal to her or prepare for some serious drama. Thanksgiving isn't even here yet, and it already feels like a circus. I'm half tempted to just sit back and see what chaos unfolds, but part of me is still worried about subjecting the whole family to whatever artistic statement she has planned. Before the next update, thoughts? That's what I'm saying. If she wants to host, Or is hosting for Thanksgiving? No, it's a big deal. It's not just being the venue. I mean, we made the turkey this year, even though we weren't the host. But I think we raised our hand for that one. We're like, hey, we want to give this a shot. Yeah, we wanted to try. And I guess we experimented, but we experimented with a known recipe, right? I mean, it was our first time doing this. We weren't trying to make something different. We weren't trying to make something like crazy and unique. And I don't know. Now it's like you've offended her. So she's more than doubling down here. She's really using it as a big middle finger. But half the people are already like either siding with her or just not willing to take a side. Maybe that's the case. So you may lose half your audience there, but if that's the case, go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Next update. Here we are, the day before Thanksgiving, and things have continued to spiral. I decided to let my sister move forward with her trio experience since pushing back more would only make things worse. I thought we had a plan. She'd bring her dishes and I'd make sure there were plenty of other options to keep the peace. This morning, my mom let me know that my sister is now adding a surprise dish to her contributions. She's been very secretive about what it is, which has everyone nervous after her past attempts. My mom thinks it's sweet that my sister is putting in so much effort, but a few other family members are not as optimistic. My cousin texted me privately asking if I had backup food ready, and my dad casually mentioned bringing extra rolls just in case. At this point, I've decided to stick with the plan and let her have her moment. I still have a few traditional dishes on hand so no one goes hungry. Tomorrow will probably be more chaotic, but it should at least make for a memorable holiday. Wish me luck. I'll update after Thanksgiving if anything noteworthy happens. Okay, so I mean, is this big of OP to let her have her moment? Or is this just being like, you want to fail like brilliantly and like, go for it. You want to fail on stage? Go for it. Fine. It. You are so brazenly just committed to failure that you're just growing the risk. Go for it. I don't know if it is brave or like gallant or it. Maybe OP just got to mode here. Sometimes you have to let people fall. I agree with that. But you never know. You know what? You never know. She could knock it out of the park. And maybe she's refined her experiments and like is testing them before bringing them. All right, here we go. Final update. Thanksgiving dinner is officially over and I genuinely don't know where to start. I feel like I just lived through a fever dream of culinary chaos and family drama, and I need a moment to breathe before I can even process everything. My cousin and I are heading out for drinks to dissect all of it because honestly, what just happened deserves its own Netflix special. I'll post photos later when I get home, but for now, let me try to give you the rundown. So my sister showed up earlier than expected, which I should have seen coming. She came in like a storm, carrying not just her 3 dishes, but also this giant platter wrapped in foil, which she was clearly trying to make a big deal about. She immediately started rearranging the table, moving my dishes to the side so hers could take center stage. She even brought her own table runner and candles, saying something about setting the mood for a creative dining experience. I decided not to fight her on it because at this point, I just wanted to get through the night without a blow up. Her trio experience was, well, let's just say it was everything I feared and more. She started with a glittery sweet potato mash that somehow managed to taste like a mix of sugar and sand. The glitter wasn't even edible glitter, it was craft glitter, which I didn't realize until one of the kids said, "This is crunchy," and I looked closer. Then there was the cranberry and oyster relish. Whoa! Cranberry and oyster relish.
No.
Do you remember Fear Factor? This is the kind of shit that they'd make you eat on Fear Factor, and if you did it, you'd win money. Nobody's winning money at this dinner. Yes, oysters and cranberries. It looked like someone had spilled jam into clam chowder, and the smell alone was enough to make me lose my appetite. Finally, she brought a pumpkin curry casserole that had raisins in it for some reason, and this weird fishy smell that clung in the air for way too long. But the piece de resistance was her surprise centerpiece dish, which turned out to be a turkey gelatin mold. Yeah, she took ground turkey, mixed it with some kind of broth and seasonings, and turned it into a wobbly, translucent mold shaped like a turkey. She even garnished it with parsley and cherry tomatoes to make it festive. I wish I were kidding. The entire table went silent when she unveiled it, except for my cousin, who immediately started coughing to cover up what I'm pretty sure was a laugh. When OP said turkey jello mold, what I envisioned was just jello in the shape of a turkey. I did not realize she would have put turkey in the Jell-O and then shaped it like a turkey.
You should have made turkey jello.
That would have been bad.
Turkey
Yeah.
in there, you just gotta find it.
Things hit their peak when my mom, who has been defending her this entire time, took one bite of the gelatin mold and just froze. She didn't say anything, but you could see the regret on her face. My sister, noticing the lack of enthusiasm, decided to go on this long speech about how Thanksgiving food is too boring and how she's trying to challenge our palates. She even called my ham and mashed potatoes uninspired, which was rich coming from someone serving glitter sand potatoes. The breaking point came when my aunt, who's usually the peacekeeper, tried the gelatin mold and actually gagged. She tried to be polite about it, but my sister saw her reaction and completely lost it. She started yelling about how nobody in the family supports her and how we're all stuck in the past with our unoriginal food. She even accused me of sabotaging her dishes by not hyping them up enough to everybody. Yeah, marketing was definitely the problem here. At this point, half the table was trying not to laugh, and the other half was just staring at their plates, probably wondering how we got here. My sister ended up storming out of the house, but not before saying something along the lines of, "Y'all regret not appreciating my vision when I'm famous!" Add delusions of grandeur to the menu, shall we? Fine. Why not? She left most of her food behind, which my cousin and I quietly threw out after dinner. The rest of the night actually turned out pretty nice once the tension was gone. It's funny. He calls her Tension. Her name is just Tension now, like Sheila. Okay. My dad's emergency ham was a lifesaver, and everyone agreed that next year we're either going to a restaurant or just skipping Thanksgiving altogether. So now I'm sitting here wondering how this even became my life. I'll post photos later because y'all need to see the turkey gelatin mold to believe it, but for now, I'm off to grab a drink or 3 with my cousin to laugh/cry over everything that went down. This Thanksgiving was truly something else, and I don't know whether to feel relieved that it's over or brace myself for whatever fresh chaos my sister has planned for next year. Stay tuned for photos. It's going to be worth it. Hot damn, we need the pictures.
I tried to find them. I can't find them.
Oh, we can't find them. Oh my gosh. Okay, as a reminder, the original question was, am I the Astronaut for telling my sister she's not allowed to bring her homemade food to Thanksgiving because her cooking is ruining the meal? I was anticipating ESH. Nope. This is an NTA, sir. This is NTA, sir or madam, or